Now, Michael, you're part of a new documentary called The Censorship Files. Let's have a quick look.
If the Supreme Court says that the government can coerce, pressure, work with tech companies to censor speech, I don't think that the First Amendment has any meaning anymore.
Especially when you have a crisis situation that you need the First Amendment.
The so-called counter-disinformation units have basically become counter-dissent units. The powers of the state and Silicon Valley are merging.
Today, American taxpayers are unwittingly financing the growth and power of a censorship industrial complex.
I saw Martin Kulldorff there, the Harvard infectious disease expert who was silenced, suppressed, defamed also for warning about our COVID response. He's been proven to be 100% right on just about everything. And he was 100% right in that clip we just saw where he said the First Amendment is most important during a crisis, but it was effectively suspended during COVID.
That's right. I mean, he just makes such a good point, which is that, free speech is not this kind of nice to have thing. Oh, we'll have it when the government decides to have it. No, free speech is in the United States is an inalienable right. It's a fundamental freedom. It's a fundamental human right. And it's not something that you're allowed to suspend when things are difficult. Like that's what we've been seeing the politicians doing every time. They just basically they want to censor. And so they just find more things that they're going to call a crisis, whether it's COVID or climate change or racism or whatever. They're just going to invent new justifications. And we're having in Ireland, you see in Australia on the Indigenous ballot. I mean, they're just going to invent new justifications for censoring people that they don't like. Now, on the one hand, you kind of go, that just looks like wokeism, but really, we now know it's part of a much more sophisticated and terrifying governmental, international governmental operation by the military and intelligence and security agencies to try to counter populist voices. And it's just outrageous. It's terrifying. It should infuriate everybody that wants to decide for ourselves. It's not just that our ability to speak for our own voice, Rita, but it's also our right to hear each other. It's my right to hear you. It's our right to have a conversation. The government it's so out of control and inappropriate. This needs to be shut down. It needs to be defunded. There needs to be an investigation across the Five Eyes countries. We do not want the police and these intelligence and security agencies telling us what we can and cannot say online. It has to stop, and we're going to keep the fight going. The documentary is going to come out early next year. I hope people sign up on the list for at X or at Substack, and they'll be the first ones to see it.
Michael Shellenberger, thank you so much for your time today. You are doing such crucial work, and we look forward to speaking to you again.
Thanks, Rita. It's good to be with you.